Family helps family, that's what my sister always said when she wanted something from me. It was her magic phrase, the card she pulled out whenever she needed a favor. And for years, I let it work. If she needed money, I helped. If she needed me to watch her kids, I did it. If she needed something fixed, I'd drive over. She'd always throw out that line, family helps family, and I would cave. But there's a difference between helping someone and being used. And my sister never understood the difference. It really started when I bought the cabin. I'd worked for years at a job that barely let me breathe. Long hours, weekends, nights where I came home too tired to do anything but fall asleep. I put away every spare dollar I could until I finally bought myself something that felt like a dream. A little cabin by the lake. It wasn't fancy, not some luxury resort, but it was mine. I picked out every detail, repaired every corner, stained the deck myself. It was the one place where the noise of the world couldn't reach me. The first time I drove up there alone, I stood on that porch and felt this overwhelming calm. It was quiet, no phones ringing, no one asking me to do anything. Just me, the trees, and the water. That cabin became my safe haven. But to my sister, Carla, it was just an opportunity. The moment she found out, she called me up. "So, I heard you got yourself a cabin." Her tone was already testing the waters. "That's amazing. We should totally use it for a family vacation. The kids would love it." I hesitated, but then thought, why not? It was sitting empty that week anyway. So I told her yes. That one yes was the beginning of years of taking. The first time, she stayed for a week. When I got back, the place was a mess. There were crumbs in the couch cushions, sticky juice stains on the counters, and wrappers shoved under the beds. A couple of dishes were missing, too. I shrugged it off. Kids make messes, right? But then it kept happening. She'd call every few months. "Hey, is the cabin free next month? We really need a break." Or, "The kids have a long weekend from school. We were thinking of heading up." Always framed as if it was no big deal, as if the cabin was some kind of timeshare we all had equal rights to. I'd show up after her visits and find things broken or missing. Light bulbs burnt out and not replaced. Garbage bags left half full. One time, she used the fireplace and left the ashes scattered across the hearth, half-burned logs still sitting there. Another time, she clogged the septic system so badly I had to pay almost $1,000 to get it pumped and repaired. When I asked about it, she brushed it off. The kids didn't know better. Another time, I noticed 3 of my best kitchen knives were gone. I asked her, and she laughed like it was no big deal. "Oh, I must have packed them by accident. You'll get them back eventually." But of course, I never saw them again. Every time I thought about setting a boundary, I told myself, just let it go, it's family. And besides, I wasn't using the cabin every week. Maybe I was being selfish for wanting it all to myself. That was the lie I told myself, until this summer. She called me one evening with a tone that already told me she was planning something. "So, we've been thinking," she said, dragging out the words. "We want to do a real family vacation this year. A proper break for the kids. 2 full weeks at the cabin." I blinked at the phone. 2 weeks. That wasn't just a little visit. That was taking over my entire sanctuary for half a month. I tried to be polite. I said, "Carla, 2 weeks is a long time. The utilities alone will be a lot, air conditioning, water, everything." That's when she dropped the line that made my blood boil. "Well, you should pay those," she said, like it was obvious. "Family helps family. It's your cabin, after all. Why should we be responsible for the bills? You're the owner. That's your job." I laughed. I couldn't help it. I thought she was joking. But she wasn't. "Carla," I said carefully, "you want to stay for 2 weeks, rent-free, and you expect me to pay for your utilities on top of that?" "Yes," she said, completely serious. "Come on, you can afford it." "We can't." "Don't be selfish." That word, selfish, it hit me like a punch. After years of bending over backward, suddenly I was the selfish one. Suddenly I was the bad guy because I didn't want to bankroll her summer holiday. I hung up quickly, too angry to keep talking. But when I sat there afterward, the anger only grew. My chest felt tight, my jaw clenched so hard it hurt. I replayed her words over and over, "Don't be selfish." And something snapped inside me. This wasn't just about utilities. It wasn't even about the cabin. It was about respect, or more accurately, the complete lack of it. For once in my life, I wasn't going to roll over. I sat at my desk and pulled up a rental contract template. I researched local vacation rental rates. I calculated the utilities, the cleaning fees, even a security deposit. I laid it all out neatly, formatted properly, and titled it, Vacation Rental Agreement. By the time I was done, the whole thing looked completely professional. Because it was. The next morning, I emailed it to her with a short note. Since you and your family plan to stay at the cabin for 2 weeks, here is the standard rental agreement. Rates are based on local averages. Please review and sign. Without a signed agreement and deposit, the cabin will not be available. I hit send, and for the first time in years, I felt good. The first day, nothing. The second day, silence. By the third day, my other sister casually mentioned in a group chat that Carla was losing her mind. Apparently, she'd been ranting that I was charging family like strangers, and acting high and mighty. I didn't respond. By day 5, Carla finally messaged me directly. Are you serious with this? Family doesn't treat each other this way. I typed back one line. Family also doesn't exploit each other. And that was the end of the conversation. By day 7, I had my answer. No signed contract, no deposit, which meant no vacation. That weekend, I drove up to the cabin myself. When I unlocked the door, I felt a wave of relief. Everything was exactly as I'd left it. No mess, no missing items, no smell of fast food wrappers. Just peace. I sat on the porch with a cold drink, watching the lake shimmer under the sun, and realized something. For the first time, the cabin felt like mine again. Truly mine. Later, I heard through the grapevine that Carla had scrambled to find a last-minute hotel. It cost them a fortune, and they had to cut their trip short. She was furious, of course, but I didn't feel guilty for even a second. Because here's the thing. When someone has been walking all over you for years, the first time you push back feels incredible. It feels like breathing fresh air after being suffocated. She wanted to use family helps family to get a free luxury vacation. Instead, she learned that family doesn't mean free access to everything I own. It means respect, and if she can't give me that, then she doesn't deserve the privilege of my generosity. Sometimes, the hardest battles aren't with strangers. They're with the people closest to us. People who think that blood entitles them to your time, your money, your effort, your peace. But standing your ground isn't selfish, it's survival. It's self-respect. That cabin is more than just wooden walls. It's a reminder that I worked hard, that I earned something for myself. And now, it's also a reminder that I don't owe anyone, family or not, the right to use me. So tell me, was I too harsh, or was this the only way to finally teach her a lesson? Let me know in the comments. And while you're there, share the most satisfying revenge you've ever pulled off. If this story gave you chills, hit like, subscribe, and stick around, because there are plenty more where this came from.